Hey guys, it's Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a story time because I did a poll on YouTube last night on if y'all wanted a surprise video every Wednesday or for sure a cooking with Marissa every Wednesday. And the poll said a surprise video, which, not gonna lie, can't disagree because I'm not the best cook in the world. And also that can get pretty boring. Not gonna lie, that's me filming it too. So today's video is how I met a dean. And I know it's like my work bestie, but the story on how we met is a little off. It's kind of funny. So I'm gonna tell it. So a dean works in automotive. He's like the person that rings you out and writes off numbers off your odometer and stocks the shelves in the automotive part, whatever, he's not an actual mechanic. And one day I had a flat tire, not completely flat, but flat enough where my light was just on in my car and everything. I was just panicking because, oh my gosh, what if this, what if that, what if? So I went to Honda to start off with because that's where I always go with my problems. And he's like, yeah, your tire is continuously losing air and I don't know why. I can't see the problem why it's always losing air. He goes, but I definitely get it checked out by us or someone that you would trust or whatever. If you trust someone more. And I'm like, the fact that you even said that kind of sounds sketchy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I have to work today. I don't have time to go to a tire shop, whatever. I get to work and my tire is more flat, okay? It's now an obvious flat. It's flatter, okay? So I go into work. I say, hey, my tire's flat. I get off at 10. Can Kobe, one of my managers, who always walks me to my car when it's nighttime, I said, hey, can Kobe, help me change my tire, stay in there as I change my tire, because it's going to be dark outside, and I don't like the idea of that. And my manager, my specific manager is like, just do it on your lunch, because Kobe's still on the clock. We can't, that just can't, it won't work, and it's going to be dark as hell. I'm like, okay, fine. I get an hour lunch, whatever. Well, I go on my lunch and I get the tire off. I know how to change a tire, okay? It was raining. My suicide jack was just not cranking. It wouldn't get high enough. So I get my tire off. And I'm like, okay, I'll just put the donut on. Whatever. And I'm rolling the tire. And I look, I'm like, huh. There's a nail in my tire. Right between the tread. I ran over a nail and it's in there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I believe this can be fixed. But I'm not sure. I don't have to get a whole new tire. So after getting the donut out and all of that work, I decided to put the tire back on my car. Smart, right? Wrong. The jack does not crank it high enough to get the tire back on. Maybe the donut, I don't know. I didn't try to put the donut back on or on. I was trying to put the tire back on because I'm like, well, I'm not going to waste this tire if I can pump it out with air and then the next day go get it fixed or whatever. And then after a couple tries, and as I fall on my butt because I just kind of gave up. I was weak. I needed food. I was on my lunch. I've been fighting with this for 45 minutes because I couldn't figure out why it didn't line up. Here comes Kobe and his lovely truck, by the way. I just want to mention he drives the Chevy Avalanche and it looks so good. And when it was just sitting there, it was boom, 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 boom. It was grumbling. Oh my gosh. It sounded so good. Sorry. I love Avalanches and his is very pretty. It's black with tinted windows and it grumbles and I get way too excited about his truck, man. Anyway, he's going to go park and he sees me. He backs up and he's like, here, let me help you. Mind you, I already declined 2 people's help earlier because I'm like, I got this, I know how to change a tire. But I was like, yeah, sure, Kobe, I gave up anyway. Go ahead. Well, my jack, like I said, it was raining. My jack slid out from under my car and my car fell. And I was sitting there in a puddle, basically. I'm just sitting here I give up. My butt's all wet. It's raining. It's like an Alicia Keys music video. I don't know. I was over it. And he looks at me, he goes, "Are you okay?" As I'm sitting a foot and a half away from the car, and he's like right under it. I said, "Yeah, Kobe, I'm okay." Granted, he knows I have panic attacks when I get startled, like extremely startled by something I didn't expect to happen. So like, he's really good with my anxiety, which is why I really trust him. He is like so reassuring. It's crazy. I've never met someone, a male, let me rephrase that was so reassuring with me. He talks to me in a soft tone. He explains things very kindly. I mean, it really makes my workday a lot easier when I work with him, because it's not just like, okay, do this and this and go. You know, he really breaks it down. He's reassuring, and it's great. Anyway, sorry. So he's looking at it. He goes, "Man, your jack just doesn't go up high enough, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Well, we have an automotive shop, you know, like, are the mechanics back there? Like, you can just go get one of them." And he's like, "Oh, you're right. And when does it close?" I said, "I don't know." And I told him the time. He called one of the mechanics. He goes, "Hey, we need a jack. An associate has a flat tire." And he's like, "Okay, I'll be there in a minute." And he brought like the big jack on wheels. You just crank it, you know, like it really pushes the car. And I guess the dean heard this conversation, and he's like, "Is the associate a female?" And Cody, the mechanic, Kobe and Cody, it's confusing. Cody, the mechanic, was like, "Yeah." So a dean went on his 15-minute break to see who it was. And it was me. So here's what happened. We have Cody cranking my car up, and that thing was like lifted. I mean, it was like, you might as well just push it over and flip it over and total it, you know? Get a whole new car. No, I'm so tired of restarting payments, really. And then we have Kobe that has the tire, and that's trying to, you know, get it back on. And he's like, "Okay, it's on." And they do whatever with the lug nuts. And Adine, as soon as Adine gets out of the truck, he's talking. Talking. I mean, I don't hear half the stuff he's saying. I don't even know what he's saying. I was too focused on my car. Like, sorry. Then Adine, after standing there talking for a good 10 minutes, grabs my hubcap, looks at it, and then puts it on. I'm thinking, is he thinking he's going to put it on upside down? Because I drive a Honda, which is an H, okay? You can't make that upside down. But he literally just talked and put the hubcap on. And he said, "Yeah, it should be good." Huh? What? I still have a nail in my tire, dude. Like, and he's just talking to me after he said that. Like, I'm just like, I don't know anything you're saying right now. Like, I can't. I'm trying to listen to them. And, long story short, well, it was already a long story, but I went to Walmart the next day and got a tubeless, whatever it's called, for like $10 at my work. And after that, my tire has been fantastic. So that's how I met Adine. So yeah. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Whoop whoop! And until next time, Marissa is out.